it's not going to affect you and if it's not going to matter within the next 2 to 5 years, does it really matter and does it deserve your full undivided attention? Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Now, of course, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always, keyword, and only take what resonates as well as leave the rest, and grab your pen and your paper and be prepared to take notes. In this video, we're going to go over 5 recommendations in order for us to stay present and understand what we focus on grows. When understanding how to be present, you realize what deserves your full undivided attention, where your energy is going, so therefore you are not feeling distracted, therefore you're not comparing yourself, therefore you could do what you need to do, execute your reality, and get to where you need to be instead of feeling stuck and stagnant, instead of feeling like a failure. Because if we're being honest, a lot of times we focus on people, places, and things who are not going to be a part of the picture as we progress and as we elevate in life. And in the end, we end up getting distracted, we feel limited, we end up sometimes getting sabotaged, whether it's from people, places, and things, or even ourselves. So the first thing we have to do in order for us to realize if it's going to matter is to identify what matters to us right now. Because once again, just because you're working towards something, just because you want certain things, just because you feel a certain type of way, doesn't mean that it's going to be consistent. At any moment in time, you could change your mind. At any moment in time, how you feel could change. How you feel today, you may not feel the same way 2 to 5 years. But overall, if you're moving with intention, if you're moving with purpose, if you do want to manifest or if you do want to experience something different, you do have to be specific and intentional about what you're doing today. So an example of this would be if you want to outgrow a way of living or a way of thinking. If you're focusing on things right now in the present moment because that's the only thing that matters right now, that is not helping you or aligning you to be this version, to see results, is it worth your time and your energy? So for example, if you want to change the way you communicate, let's just say you want to stop cursing, because I know that's common and I'm speaking from experience. If you want to stop using words that are not appropriate or profanity, you have to ask yourself, are you surrounding yourself with people who use profanity? Are you listening to people who are constantly talking about things that you consider to be inappropriate? And be honest. We're not here to judge you. This is a judge-free place. But it's like you have to be vulnerable. You have to be honest. You have to realize that if you are focusing on things that are not helping you, that do not educate you, that don't motivate you, and that are not allowing you to be you, you're the only person who's going to feel like you're wasting your time and your energy and effort. And I'm speaking from experience. So I need you, with your notes, to figure out what it is that you currently like about yourself, what it is that you currently do that makes you feel good, and what it is that you want to experience. Now, of course, in order for you to do this, you need to know the difference between your short-term goals and your long-term goals. Because once again, what you feel today could change. But if you know, let's just say short-term goals, as of right now, you don't want to use profanity, you have to focus on that. You have to work on that. Versus if you have long-term goals to not curse at all, to eat more healthier, to lose weight, to work out, to just do whatever it is that you want to do. You can decide what it is that you want to do in life. The second thing you have to do once you realize our short-term goals, our long-term goals, and what it is that you like about yourself, what it is that you want to experience, is to realize what is in your control. If you know that you want to stop cursing, if you know that you want to separate yourself from certain people, places, and things that no longer resonate with what it is that you wrote on this list or what it is that you put in the comment section, what can you do to separate yourself? What can you do to no longer have access to these things? What can you do to start applying these things? So, for example, if your goal is to stop cursing, what can you do to challenge you to stop cursing? So, an example, this is an old-fashioned thing that most people do. They have a swear jar. So they get a jar or a bottle or whatever it is, Every time you curse, you put $1. Every time you curse, you put 10 cents. Every time you curse, you put $100. Every time you curse, you put $1,000. You have to learn how to challenge yourself to not do things that you don't want to do anymore. Same thing with certain people in places. If you know that certain people don't resonate with you, they don't understand you, you constantly have to over-explain yourself, you constantly have to lower yourself, you constantly have to dim yourself. What can you do in these relationships, in these environments, so that you're able to be heard and seen? Do you need to let them know that this is how you feel? And if they're not willing to be there for you, that you have to either A, cut them off completely, or remove yourself and then implement boundaries? We have to be honest with ourselves. Like, we cannot get upset about not experiencing certain things or doing certain things if we're not even being present and identifying what we're doing with our everyday life. So the third thing you have to do is realize this is going to take time. When you stop focusing on certain people, places, and things, if you've never done it before, it's unfamiliar, which means you're going to feel uncomfortable, which means a lot of times people go back and forth between their mind, their emotions, subconsciously, consciously, even financially and physically, with things that they're used to dealing with. Excuse me. You have to realize that, once again, if you want to get yourself out of poverty, if you want to become financially literate, if you used to feel a way about money, or you're used to living paycheck to paycheck and you don't want to continue to do that, you have to realize that you have to start doing things differently. I don't know why I said differently. You have to become educated. You have to start doing research. You have to start surrounding yourself with people who could teach you about finances. You got to go on YouTube, because that's what you're on right now. It's a search engine. How to become financially literate. How to save $10,000 in 3 months. How to invest. How to get an IRA. How to whatever it is. You have to be willing to find ways. If you don't have the resources and the tools and the support immediately to start making these changes. Same thing with the cursing. You have to stop watching TV shows and surrounding yourself with people who use profanity. Or, once again, you need to implement boundaries. You get to decide what's worth your time and energy. Speaking from experience, once I stopped surrounding myself and focusing around people and places and things that did not align with who I wanted to be in the present moment, or what I wanted to do moving forward in the next 2 to 5 to 10 years, I wasn't distracted. Because at the end of the day, yes, there are going to be people and places and things who feel entitled and they're just weirdos, let's be for real. But that doesn't mean that you have to give them your full undivided attention. If people are not willing to come into your life to motivate you, educate you, finance you, pour into you, you need to ask yourself, why are they there and why are you there? And it doesn't matter if it's your family members, your friends, your significant other, or your kids. That makes it worse. We have to stop making excuses for people that we know just because you know them. That makes it worse. And that's going to be a different topic within itself. So the fourth thing, or let me know where I'm at. Are we on 3? Or number 4, the fourth thing you have to realize in order for you to stop giving your full undivided attention to certain people, places, and things that you want to outgrow or no longer resonates with you in the current moment is ask yourself, why are you so engaged? And be honest. We all have desires. We all have weaknesses. We all have temptations that we experience. But it's just like, why do you feel the need to engage or watch or support or to do things that you know don't resonate with you? Is it because that's all you know? That's all you were taught? That's all you were shown? Is it because it's a comfort, right? You have attachment issues? You have abandonment issues? You're afraid to be alone? What is it? Until you're able to identify the root, the source, you're constantly going to do the same things that you did previously, and you're constantly going to feel like nothing is working out for you or that you can't be present. I had to realize, for me, the reason why I was around certain people, places, and things, and they weren't for me, is because I wasn't where I needed to be. And because I didn't have control over certain things. Because sometimes we have control over things, sometimes we don't. So, for example, I was around a lot of people that I did not want to be around, but because I didn't get to pick, my elementary school, my middle school, my high school, I didn't get to pick the people I went to school with. I didn't get to pick my coworkers, right? Because that's my experience. I had to learn how to tolerate people. But once I didn't have to tolerate these people and not be around these people, I separated myself from them and I cut them off, even with family members. Sometimes you have to live with certain people, right? Because you don't have yourself together, or you're in school, whatever it is, your situation. But it's like, once we identify why we're in these environments or why we're, dealing with certain things, we then have to learn how to be accountable. We then have to realize, okay, if this is making me feel like this, then something has to give. You have to compromise for yourself. Compromise for yourself before you compromise for other people. I know a lot of people are in relationships with people that they don't even like because they're afraid to be alone. They're afraid to be abandoned. They grew up with having validation from so many people that when they're by themselves, it makes them uncomfortable. I know a lot of people who think being alone is boring. They think it's so boring when it's peaceful, but that's because they grew up in dysfunction and chaos. And I'm not here to judge you, but I'm gonna bombastic side eye as a grown adult. Like, what do you mean you'd rather be around people just to be around people than to be alone? Because it's like, it's nothing wrong with you wanting to, like I said, like certain things or do certain things. This doesn't mean that you're not a human, but it's like, be around people and places and things that make you feel good. Be around people who deserve your energy. A lot of people do not deserve our energy. And once you realize everyone does not deserve your full undivided attention, you're not going to be distracted. But it's not until you separate yourself, because what happens is the longer you surround yourself with people, places, and things that are not for you, the longer you're going to deal with your consequences. And a lot of times you end up losing a lot of stuff. And if you know, if you believe in God, ancestors, the universe, take what resonates, leave the rest. Certain people, places, and things will be forced and stripped out of your life until you get it. You shouldn't have to walk all the way to the deep end for you to realize. You shouldn't have to bump your head for you to realize. Somebody shouldn't have to hurt and harm you psychologically, emotionally, mentally, physically, sabotage you in order for you to get it. So it's just like, I'm speaking from experience. I work with so many people. I'm letting you know, like, that's not it. We don't have to learn the hard way. You don't have to suffer in order to learn. Why would you want to suffer? If you know that you could do certain things and not suffer, why would you want to suffer? Suffering is not the only way to learn. Not just that, once again, if you want to move, if you want to travel, and certain people, places, and things are not willing to support you, rather they don't want to or they can't, why not separate yourself from these people and trust that if you are in the present moment and you're focusing on things that are letting you get to where you need to be, there are going to be people who want to travel with you. There are going to be people who want to be with you. Same thing when it comes to relationships. Stop surrounding yourself with people just because you're afraid to be alone. Now, of course, once again, when you're not taught and shown, I have a lot of empathy. I'm not just going to be dismissive. I'm not going to validate you. But it's like, once you start watching these videos, you got to start taking these notes. You got to start applying information, because if not, it becomes an excuse. It's one thing to not know no better. It's one thing to be naive. But after you were informed, after you become aware, it's a choice. And over here, I don't make excuses and I don't enable anybody. I have too much respect for myself as well as you watching this. So your homework assignment is to figure out what it is that you want to experience within now, within the next month, within the next week, within the next 2 to 5 years, short term and long term. And if you don't know, don't force it. Focus on short term things right now, because there are only 24 hours in a day, and every single day of your life matters. Every single day leads up to 2 to 10 to 5 to 100 years from now. That's what people fail to realize, is what we do today. You may not see results today. You may not see things happen today. You may not even see things in 3 months, 4 months. You have to learn how to be consistent and want it. Thank you guys for watching this video all the way to the end. Make sure to follow me on all social media platforms. Thank you guys for engaging, as well as turning your post notifications, liking these videos, and commenting down below, as well as heading to my website to book your service in your session. Make sure you guys are reading your policies so there's no confusion. And if you're not able to afford a session in the service, head to my Instagram and my TikTok. Once again, all my social medias will be down in the description box below. And let me know what it is that you guys want to talk about, or DM me if you have any, more personal, relatable, or confidential experiences that you want to get off your chest. If you're not, feeling comfortable in the comment section or on my website. And Make sure you guys turn your post notifications on my Instagram and on my TikTok as well, because I will be going live a lot more during the summertime, answer you guys' questions that I get all the time. If, once again, you're not able to book a service in a session, which is understandable. But I need for you and I to stop focusing and surrounding ourselves with people, places, and things who are not even going to be a part of the picture in the next 2 to 5 years, 10 years. And I need you to start asking yourself, every time you surround yourself with certain people, places, and things, is it worth your energy? Doesn't matter. If you react and respond this way, is it going to matter even in the next 48 hours? Doesn't matter. Is it going to matter in the next week? Is it going to matter in the next 3 days? Is it going to matter tomorrow? You feel me? This is something we have to practice though, okay? Love you. Thanks for watching. Peace.